Hello, Kevin.
Hello.
How are you?
I can't. Wait, I got to turn on my mic. I usually don't have mine on, so
I can hear you.
there we go. Now I can hear you.
I was just trying to calm my house down. It was a little loud. So
There you go.
it's the Kim and Kevin show
It is.
for a few minutes, anyways. So it is exactly 4. I'm going to just give it a couple minutes for some other people to join potentially. There's 13 people here, 15, no, 13.
Well, 13 besides, including me and you.
Right. That's right. We're here. We're
That's
always here. So kind of a different little baby podcast today. I had some stuff lined up because I knew I was going to be kind of on my own today. Dr. McMakin is in Florida at the Mag Healy, right? Not the McHealy, the Mag Healy launch, doing her wonderful stuff that she always does. And I was going to have some athletes on to discuss what we do with FSM, but we had a bit of a change in plans. So for those of you who may not have heard the news, George has passed away. He passed away on Monday. And to do a podcast without Carol, with this new news just didn't seem right. So there will not be a podcast today. I am just here to let you all know that we will be having a special podcast next Wednesday in memory of George. And it's going to be, what did Carol say, a live stream sort of version of a wake. So if you have some special stories or any special George kind of comments, you can go ahead and, write them in the comments next week, or you can send them to us ahead of time. You can still go to the frequency specific podcast portion of the website, and you can still, as if you were asking a question, you can write them in that way. You can email them to me at kim@fsmsports365.com. I'd be happy to read them on the podcast. It doesn't have to be a long story. If it's something just small you would like to share about George, you can do it. You can do it that way.
For those who may not know who George was.
Right. Right. That's true. I take it for granted that if you know Carol and FSM, you know George. Dr. George Douglas was the co-creator and the co-founder of FSM, was Carol's partner in crime for the past 35, 40 years, like a good, I believe she met him when she was in her mid 40s. That's right. When they met, when she was in chiropractic
school. The
school.
Picture on the wall, she said she was 45 in that picture. So
okay. So yeah, Dr. George Douglas was he's the reason why we have FSM. The two of them, we owe everything that we do. Carol, Kevin's going to bring us over to a picture now. There he is.
I can get to the right one.
Yeah. Oh, I love that picture.
So that's Carol and George. And then that is Carol and George and David Simons.
Yes. Yes.
Carol and George again.
Oh, I love that picture. Oh, so that's who George was. Super special human being. Thanks, Kevin, for showing those pictures.
I know.
So that's why we're not having a podcast today, because it just didn't seem right to kind of fill it with stuff. And we will definitely have all the athletes and all the special guests that we are going to be throughout the summer. But just for this next one, it didn't seem special enough, I guess is what we wanted to say. So there will be no podcast. This is just kind of our announcement for those of you who have not seen the news. And yeah, feel free to send in all your questions and comments, and with everything, we'll move forward as we normally do. But for next Wednesday, we're going to make that one very special, and just make that in memory of George. So that'll be a very special podcast next week.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for coming as always.
People
And
that came on.
yeah. Thanks to the people that are, I think those are probably our original 17, that the diehards that come all the time. So thank you for coming.
And if you're listening to this on audio, as an audio podcast, and you want to see those pictures that I showed, we do post this on YouTube, on our YouTube channel as well. So
very good. That's right. Yes, because you need to see those pictures. So we will definitely see everybody with Dr. McMakin back in town next Wednesday. And yeah, we'll see you all then for a very special edition of the Frequency Specific podcast next Wednesday, dedicated to George Douglas.
Yep.
All right, Kevin.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, everybody.